Hello my people, here is your boy Slave of God. Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to prove here with 100% proof that the Holy Quran has never been changed. I'm going to prove that no verse was added and no verse was removed, and no chapter was added or removed. You know what I'm saying? And I'll challenge you to prove me wrong. But if you cannot prove me wrong, then you have no choice but to agree and to become Muslim before you'll be destroyed by God. I'm saying, because I know many people, they're out there claiming that the Quran was changed. I'll show you that the Quran was never changed. I'm saying, I know it's painful to accept it, but it's the truth. Now, if you read the Quran, the Quran itself say chapter 4. The Quran itself say chapter 15. Quran chapter 15, verse 9. Quran chapter 15, verse 9. Now let me pick the Quran and read it with you. Say Quran chapter 15, verse 9. Indeed, it is we who send down the message, i.e. the Quran, and indeed we will be its guardian. Now, the Quran says that God is the one who sent down this audio, this recitation, and he will protect it. You know what I'm saying? Now look, for a book here to be from God, basically you need three things. Now, you know what I'm saying? Number one, no mistakes. I'm saying mistakes. Number two, this book has to be preserved. Number two, preservation. And number three, this book here needs something that is something divine, something that is miraculous, that make the book a divine book. Something divine. See, so if a book has all these three, then it's definitely from God. You know what I'm saying? Number one, no mistakes. Number two, preserved. And number three, something that is divine, that makes it something that makes the book divine. Now, the word Quran, as you know, as you may know, the word Quran means recitation. I'm saying Quran, recitation. Recitation, like an audio. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the time of Prophet Muhammad, that the Prophet Muhammad could not read or write, so the whole Quran, he had it in his mind. You know what I'm saying? And he gave it to his companions as an audio. You know what I'm saying? So now, from that time till today, we are around life from 41 to 45 generation after Prophet Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? It's been 1,400 years plus after Prophet Muhammad, after he died. You know what I'm saying? So if the Quran was never changed, it will be actually basically a miracle, because for an audio to have never been changed for 1,400 years, that's mind blowing, whether you want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is that many people, they will say, but the law of books have not been changed and so on. But those books, they're not religious books, and no one care about those books, because those books, if you change them or not, it won't influence anything, because it's not a matter of life and death. You know what I'm saying? For example, you see this I can leave this outside for even the next 3,000 years, and no one will change it, because this is just a piece of paper without any value. You know what I'm saying? By a religious book people will fight for the religion. You know what I'm saying? So a religious book is always in the process of changing, all of them except one, the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people say that at the time of Uthman, may God be pleased with him, they say that Uthman, since he banned the Quran, he did it because the Quran was corrupted. But I'll show you that it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Now, what does corruption mean? Corruption is when you have a book and you change it, and the original book here, the original manuscript is gone. You know what I'm saying? For example, imagine I have a book and I write a book. This is the book that I write. See, the original book. This is the original one. This book is the book that I write here. And for example, this book is the original one. And then some people they copy different ones, and maybe 4 people they come here, they copy like this. You see? Now imagine this one has his manuscript. This one he copied, this one he copied here, and this one he copied. I'm saying. Now imagine here you have also Uthman. I'm saying Uthman here. See, now Uthman has the original manuscript of the Quran, but keep in mind that the Quran, yes, he had the whole of it memorized. Now imagine these people, they came here and they copied the Quran in the original one, but they did mistakes here in the copying here. And Uthman, he saw it. He saw that they did mistakes after a while here, and then he decided here to ban these ones. I see now. See now, did he corrupt? Did he destroy the Quran? Was the Quran corrupted? The answer is no, because the original manuscript is still there. But let's imagine that the Uthman banned all of them, even this one. Let's imagine that for argument's sake, he banned all the Quran that existed at the time. It doesn't matter, because he had the whole Quran memorized, and not just him. He, Uthman, plus other companions, you know what I'm saying? Hundreds or thousands of the companions. So the Quran can never be changed because of the fact that the Quran was memorized, you know what I'm saying? And like generation after generation, people memorized it. You know what I'm saying? For example, imagine this. Imagine, for example, yeah. This is like Uthman, and he gave it to his son by memory from his head. He gave it to his son. You know what I'm saying? Well, he gave it to his son, then his son gave it to his son, generation after generation, all the way till today. So the Quran was never being changed here, for the simple fact that the Quran here was actually memorized word for word, letter for letter, you know what I'm saying? So Uthman did not ban the Quran here because they corrupted it, because the original manuscript was still there, and the Quran means audio. You know what I'm saying? The Quran means audio. So for you to destroy, for you to change the Quran, you have to change what? The audio. If you change the manuscript here, you didn't change the Quran, you changed that this is the Mus'haf. You know what I'm saying? Mus'haf, which is the manuscript, but Quran means audio. So if you change the audio, Quran means recitation. So if you change the recitation, you change the Quran. If you change the memorized part, you change the Quran, because the Prophet Muhammad did not come with a book. This book here was made by humans, you know what I'm saying? But this book here was written down by humans. You know, this paper is human beings that cut down trees and made this and wrote here. You know what I'm saying? But the word here, these words here, they are the words of God, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the Prophet Muhammad could not read or write in it. So in the Quran here, he had all of it in his mind. So for someone to change it here, you have to actually be able to go into the person's mind and change it, which is impossible. You know what I'm saying? The Quran here is more like an alphabet. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it's more like the alphabet. Imagine A, B, C, D, all the way till Z. You know what I'm saying? Till Z. Now here, if I come and I change here, I remove D. Yeah, and I remove B here. Did I actually change the alphabet? Like if I write the alphabet in a piece of paper here, and then I switch the order, I remove some letters, add some letters that don't exist here. Did I change the alphabet? For example, I put here Z, and I put here C here. You didn't change anything, because the alphabet here is memorized by millions of people. You know what I'm saying? Something that is memorized can never be changed. That's how the Quran was. You know what I'm saying? From the time of Prophet Muhammad all the way till today, it has never been changed. You know what I'm saying? So if Uthman banned the manuscript here, he didn't actually destroy the Quran, because the Quran is what? The recitation, aka the audio. That's how you can change the Quran. If you don't change the audio, yeah, you didn't change anything. It's like, imagine a song here. Imagine, for example, a song. There is the song, and that is the text of the song. I'm saying, now imagine this is the song in. Now imagine, for example, the song is here. See, this is the song and this is the text. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I destroy this, if I destroy the text here, you didn't destroy the song. You know what I'm saying? Because the song here is the voice that you have to destroy. If you destroy the song here, if you destroy the text, you didn't destroy the song. You know what I'm saying? Either you change it, even if you go in the text here and you change some words inside the text, or you do whatever you want here, the song is still intact, because the song is what? The song is the voice, the same way the Quran is the voice. So with the book here, you can do whatever you want. For example, today you can ban all the Qurans on the earth. You know what I'm saying? But 5 minutes later, it will come back again, because people have memorized it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's what? It's a recitation. You know what I'm saying? The book, yeah, the text is called Mus'haf. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So I know it's painful for those who are not Muslim, but the Quran has never been changed, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? If you're Christian, I know it will be hard for you to accept, because the so-called Bible that you have here, it has been changed, and they have damaged that book. I'm saying they oppressed that book in the worst way possible. Fam. I'm saying I feel so bad for the Bible. Fam. I'm saying people have injured the Bible, changed. I'm saying they have done many surgery to the Bible. Fam. I'm saying they've done anything, added things that the Bible doesn't want, and all those things. I'm saying, but the Bible, yeah, the Bible itself means collection of books. I'm saying, so if you actually destroy the Bible, if you burn all the Bibles, it's gone, because the Bible means collection of books. But Quran does not mean collection of books, neither it means book. Quran means recitation. So you have to change the thing that is in the minds of people. I'm saying you have to change what you can say, song or audio that is in the head of people. If you don't change that, you did never change the Quran, because this is called Mus'haf. You know what I'm saying? This is the Mus'haf, the text, the Mus'haf. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first proof that the Quran has never been changed, for the fact that it's an audio. It's not the book itself, it's the audio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's proof number one. So just imagine, now there are more than 200 million people on this planet that have memorized the whole Quran. You know what I'm saying? So now imagine Quran chapter 15 here, verse 9. It says that no one will be able to change the Quran. You know what I'm saying? And Quran chapter 54 verse 17 here, it says that the Quran is easy to be memorized. You know what I'm saying? So now this here is actually the way the Quran was memorized. You know what I'm saying? The Quran here cannot be changed today. If you ban all the books of the Quran, it will come back in a matter of 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And if you change a word here, if you change just a word in the whole Quran, every single person here, like the Quran, if you change here a word of it here, of the Quran, you didn't actually change it, because of the fact that the one that is memorized in the head is still there. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't actually change it. The same way if you change the song, if you change the text of a song, you didn't change the song, because the song is still on Spotify or wherever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the same thing. Now imagine the confidence here. Imagine yourself, imagine someone who cannot read or write. How can he make such a prophecy saying that this recitation will never be changed? And in fact, it has never been changed for more than 1,400 years. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the confidence. Only someone who speaks the truth can make such a prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go to the proof number 2 that will prove that the Quran has never been changed. This is more like a mathematical proof. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you take the Quran, you read Quran chapter 74, verse 30 and 31. Now I'll read it to you. Over it are 19, and you have not made the keepers of the fire except angels, and you have not made their number except as a trial for those who disbelieve, that those who were given the scriptures will be convinced, and those who have believed will increase in faith. And those who were given the scripture and the believers will not doubt, and that those in whose heart is disease, i.e. hypocrisy, and the believers will say, what does Allah intend with such example? Does Allah guide who he wanted? Does that Allah send astray who he wants, and he guide who he wants? and no one knows the secrets of your Lord except He. Now this verse here, these two verses, Quran chapter 74, verse 30 and 31 here. Quran chapter 74, verse 30 and 31. Yeah, they talk about how it says here that over the hellfire there are 19 angels, you know what I'm saying? And it says that the number 19 here is going to be number 19 is going to be the proof, yeah, of the Quran, you know what I'm saying? So this will also prove that the Quran here has never been changed, you know what I'm saying? For 1,400 years here, the number 19 will also prove, it will prove the Quran is divine, and it will also prove that the Quran has never been changed, you know what I'm saying? Now, every single chapter in the Quran has a number of verses, you know what I'm saying? Like in any book in Hibah. For example, in the Quran, chapter 1, yeah, it has 7 verses. Chapter 2, it has 286 verses. Chapter 3, it has 200 verses, you know what I'm saying? All the way till the end, you know what I'm saying? For example, chapter 113, it has 5 verses. Chapter 114, yeah, it has 6 verses. I see. Now, if you pick the Quran here, you mark down all the chapters here from 1 to 114 here, and every single chapter, yeah, the number of verses here, and you add them. For example, chapter 1, yeah, plus number of verses. So 1 plus 7 is 8. You see, 2 plus chapter 2, yeah, plus number of verses 286. So 2 plus 286 is 288. 288. Then chapter 3 plus 200 verses. So 3 plus 200 is 203. Then you do the same chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, all the way to the end. So let's say, for example, 113 plus 5 verses in that chapter. 113 plus 5 is 118. And the last chapter is 114 plus 6, which are the verses in that chapter, 120. See, so all the totals at the end of all this calculation, yeah, that you have in total like 114 totals, you know what I'm saying? And this out of 114, yeah, like imagine 114 totals you have, you know what I'm saying? Now 114 totals you have here, which is already 19 times 6. You know what I'm saying? This 114 totals here, exactly half here, 57 are even. You know what I'm saying? And 57 are odd. You know what I'm saying? Now, why 57? Now 57 is actually, yeah, 19 times 3. You know what I'm saying? So you see, number 19 here is already mentioned in the Quran, and it says going to be a proof of the Quran. The exact 114 chapters here, 114 totals. Out of these totals here, if you do the calculation I told you before, out of these totals here, you will have 57 even totals here, 57 odd totals. You know what I'm saying? And 57 here, why 57 not 56 and 58? Yeah, it's because 57 here and 57, they're actually 19 times 3, 19 times 3, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you take all the evens here, you know that if you do the calculation here, of the number of the chapter plus number of verses here, if you take and you have the 57 odds and the 57 evens here, if you take all the 57 evens here, if you take the 57 evens and you add all of them together, you will have exactly 6,236 as a total. You know what I'm saying? Now 6,236 here is what the number of verses in the Quran. This proves that no verse was added to the Quran. Now if you take the 57, now if you go to the 57 odds here, if you go to the 57 here, there are like 57 odds. I'm saying 57 total that are odds. I'm saying that. Now this one, if you add all the evens, if you add all the odds here, all the odds total, you have 6,555. And what's 6,555 here? 6,555 here is actually the number of all the chapters in the Quran, i.e. one. You know, in the Quran they have 114 chapters. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 all the way to 114 here, all of them together is exactly 6,555, which actually, and this year actually prove that no chapter was added or removed, because if a chapter was added, it will not be like this. If a chapter was removed here, it won't be like this. You know what I'm saying? So within the Quran itself here, there is a mathematical structure built here to prove here that no verse was added or removed. If you actually added a verse here or removed, there will be no connection between the number of verses and the number of chapters in the Quran. And this proves here that the Quran was never, no one ever added a chapter, and no one ever added a verse, and no one ever removed a chapter, and no one ever removed a verse from the Quran. You know what I'm saying? This you can verify by yourself. Now I'll give you the reference for you so that you can go and verify and attempt to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if you cannot prove me wrong, you have no choice to agree and to become Muslim before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll give you the reference. Now take pen and a paper here, and then mark down Quran chapter 15 verse 9. This verse says that the Quran will never be changed. Then mark down right here Quran chapter 54 verse 17. This talk about the fact that the Quran will be easy to be memorized. You know what I'm saying? And then Quran here chapter 74 verse 30 and 31. You know what I'm saying? And this talk about how the number 19 here will actually prove that the Quran here is from God and is also has never been changed. Like the Quran, it will prove that the Quran here, it will be the proof of the Quran basically says. You know what I'm saying? So now here it talk about how the Quran will never be changed. You know what I'm saying? Here talk about the memorization, and here it says that talk about the number 19. The number 19 has other things I'm going to explain in the next videos. You know what I'm saying? But this here, in this video, I proved that no verse here or chapter was added. You know what I'm saying? Or chapter was added. And if you're honest here, once you verify all of them, you go to the calculation and you verify all of them, you will see that what I said is true, and you will never be able to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if you think here, if you're deluded and you think you can prove me wrong, then just come. You know what I'm saying? Just write comments or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then let's see if you'll be able to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now yeah, when you do this here, you have to also do the odd and even. So you take the chapter number here, chapter number plus chapter verses. You know what I'm saying? Plus the verses in the chapter. You know what I'm saying? So that, for example, if you have chapter 67, for example, in the Quran, chapter 67 here, plus the number of that chapter, which is the number of verses in that chapter here, which is like 30. So like 67 plus 30 here is what? 97. Now 97 is what? Is an even, 97 is an odd number. You know what I'm saying? So you do all that here with all the chapters in the Quran, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, all the way till the end, you have 114 totals. You know what I'm saying? 57 will be, you have 114 totals, which is 19 times 6. 57 will be even, and 57 will be odds. 19 times 3, 19 times 3. Now if you add all the evens here, you will have 6,555, which are the number. If you add all the evens, you will have 6,236. you have 6,236, which is the number of verses in the Quran. And if you add all the odds, you'll have 6,555, which is the number, which is the total of, which is the total of the numbers of chapters in the Quran. You know what I'm saying? This proves that no chapter was added and no verse was added and the same way removed. You know what I'm saying? Now in the next video, I'm going to prove I'm also going to prove that no word was added and no letter was also added. You know what I'm saying? But it won't be in only the next video, in the next video, and more than the next, like in the next video, and also the video after the next one. I'm going to prove that no verse, I'm going to prove that no word or letter was added. You know what I'm saying? And that will also prove, and that will also prove that the Quran is actually divine, because the thing I'll show you, you will realize by yourself that this book is divine. But this plus the fact that, plus the video I uploaded, plus the previous video of the part 1 of this series, they are enough to prove to anyone with a little bit of sincerity and humility that the Quran is from God. You know what I'm saying? So this is, now we are at the end of the video, So subscribe to my channel, share the videos, comment, like. And so if you have any question, drop it down, and see you in the next video. I leave you to God. Peace on you.